Hi, everyone. I'm three-time U.S. Olympian and six-time national champion Hazel Clark.
And I'm Shannon Grady, exercise physiologist, author of The Lactate Revolution, and inventor of the MyBia app.
And we are so excited to partner with MileSplit to bring you an educational series specifically designed to help high school athletes optimize their performance.
This series is data-driven with elite-level coaching insights to maximize your potential.
That's right. Follow us on milesplit.com.
It's time
to revolutionize your performance. Hi, everyone. We are here with episode 1 of our educational series, and today we are going to delve into the game-changing world of heart rate zones. I've got my friend, leading lactate expert Shannon Grady here, and we are prepared to kind of take you through the best ways to use heart zones to ensure that you are healthy, that you are optimizing your training. And we're going to tell you why it's so important to understand your heart zones and implement them properly. Right, Shannon?
That's right. Hey, I'm Shannon Grady, exercise physiologist. And for over 20 years, I've tested thousands of athletes. And what I've discovered is that the proper use of individualized heart rate zones was the key, not only to longevity in their training and their careers, but also staying injury-free, from developing their aerobic system properly to recovering effectively.
Yeah, and over my career as a three-time Olympian, one thing I've learned is the importance of smart training. Many of us have the intention to obviously do our best, but without smart training, you can easily burn out, get injured, as we said. And I think the great thing about heart zones is that, and using them properly, is that it enables you to run your program, to run something specifically designed for you, not follow someone else's general program that might not be the best for you. So it's very important that we understand this today, that we delve into this. Shannon, I'm excited to hear about it because it changed my career, my life, and let's get started.
So generally, most people today, actually a lot of runners are using watches like Garmin, Coros, Polar, and they do get heart rate zones from those watches. But there is a little bit of an issue with using those zones that are in the watches because they go off generalized formulas. So they're generally going to use a formula like 220 minus age to give you a heart rate zones. But for youth athletes, especially, those zones are going to be very conservative. Yep. So if you are a high school athlete, it's best to perform a heart rate test to get your individualized zones. And one thing people don't understand about heart rate zones is that they actually can fluctuate. So performing a heart rate test on a regular basis, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 times a year, you can see if your heart rate zones actually have changed, because they do actually change. Mm-hmm. And the importance of getting an individualized zone instead of using your generalized formula or just whatever shows up in your watch is going to make sure that you're training and developing effectively for you where your body is at that time.
So wait, let me get this right, Shannon. Are you telling me that these formulas in the watches use the same, I guess, like you said, formula for 48-year-old Hazel as three-time Olympian Hazel?
Correct.
That seems like a big problem to me. So how do we get around that? What are you saying that we should do?
Well, as I mentioned, I've worked with athletes for the last 20 years, and I've been testing thousands of athletes kind of in the background. But I actually just launched an app that makes this individualized heart rate zone calculations available to everybody. So it takes the data from a heart rate test and gives your customized zones that you can then take and input into your watch. So then you can have the correct zones for you, and it will make a difference. Again, as I said, those zones aren't static, so it's good to keep checking those. So while the use of heart rate watches and devices are very popular, and it's great that people are now, understanding heart rate and starting to use it, we want to make sure you're using it effectively and appropriately.
Really good.
And one of the things, as you've experienced, is that if you have the wrong zone, so say if you get the 48-year-old Hazel zones when you're 25, that's going to be real slow.
That's going to be seriously slow.
Seriously slow, right?
That's not going to get you where you need to be.
Right. But when throughout your career, you were tested regularly, and some of the things about using heart rate that you experienced were.
I mean, the thing, when I look back to my career, it took me some time to have the, I guess, discipline.
It does take
and confidence to understand, first of all, that, especially I think as middle distance runners, sometimes your body tells you the wrong things. What I mean is you might think you feel great. Might not realize how tired you are, how overtrained you are, or vice versa. You may be doing the wrong type of training. The science sometimes really gives you a picture that you're not even aware of, but then you have to trust in the science. And that's the thing that takes the discipline. But when I trusted in the science, I found that it really paid off. But there were times where I had to run slower than my training partners. I'm faster than them. I have a better PR. But at that point in my career, that's where I was. And that was a little bit challenging and difficult. But I think when you tackle that mentally, this science is a game changer, as you said. And this is the secret weapon that we want as many athletes as possible to be aware of, for sure.
Absolutely. And that's just it. Your heart rate is a very definite, direct indicator of how hard your body's working.
Absolutely.
So if you have your correct zones and you're applying it properly to your training, say, this is a recovery day, and no matter how fast or slow I'm going, if I'm in the right heart rate zone, I'm going to ensure I'm recovering.
Yeah.
And it does take discipline to slow down on those days.
Oh, it's tough.
But what happens come workout day?
Yeah, you're shining at that point.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure you're recovering when you need to recover, and you're developing the aerobic system properly, which is, with middle distance runners, especially young middle distance runners, one, you have a higher ability to tolerate pain, if you will, right? So what you think is easy really isn't easy.
That was the shocking thing that I found. I could get through the cross country training. I could even be in the top 5. But what it was taking out of my system was completely different than what it was doing to some of my teammates.
Correct.
And that was really eye-opening for me, because I'm like, I'm in the game. I'm right up there with them. But my 17-minute 5K versus theirs was a lot different.
Yeah, so the effort was different, even though you could do it.
Yeah.
So this allows, especially middle distance athletes and young athletes, to develop their physiology appropriately.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to see the big jumps in developing appropriately. Instead of using too much anaerobic to do that cross-country training, we're making sure your aerobic system is actually doing the work it needs to do.
Absolutely. Well, I really thank you for taking us through that. Anything else you want to add? Or, I mean, I know that where can we find this information? Obviously, you talked about your app.
Follow us on MileSplit. We're going to be diving into these similar topics each week. Check out my website, www.mybia.com. Get on the MyBia app. It's very simple. Get your individualized heart rate zones at the minimum. Make use of those devices. Make sure you're recovering properly and developing your aerobic system properly. And stay tuned.
Yeah, we're going to have some workouts as well, right? Along with this as well.
We
so
are.
That's going to be great. We got it all. So stay tuned. We'll see you next episode.
So can you guys tell me a little bit how heart rate training has been going and some of the challenges and benefits?
Yeah, so I think kind of what's really awesome about it was as the season got going and we kind of came off summer training and we were all together again, every workout we knew kind of exactly where we all needed to be, and then we could run it together without worrying too much about trying to hang with each other. We were kind of, if you weren't with it and you were with your heart, it was like, it's okay because that's where I'm supposed to be at. I don't have to worry about hanging onto a run I can. So I think that was a really big benefit.
You felt confident knowing even if somebody was ahead or behind, that as long as you're in your zone.
Absolutely.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, something that's really helped my confidence throughout the season is seeing how my pace has increased at the same heart rate throughout the season as I've continued to get tested, just seeing, feeling more comfortable at that heart rate, but also going faster at the same heart rate.
Awesome. How do you think as a whole, using heart rate, especially during the aerobic phases, has helped improve your aerobic fitness?
Yeah, I think definitely that knowing where I'm at, knowing exactly what paces I'm at, what heart rates I should be at, having that piece of information and that actual data point in my head has kind of helped me see actual progress. And even though, of course, I might have been progressing before, I know exactly how much I'm progressing, at least to a data point, and that really helps with just my mental ability and my mentality, because I feel like I'm getting faster, I feel like I'm getting stronger, and then when I see that happening in my races and in my workouts, it's just a really, really great thing for my head.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me, it's one of those things where when I see my heart rate at a certain place during workouts and I can consistently hold on, it gives me the confidence in during races when my heart rate is that high that I can hold on because I do it in practice every single day.
Awesome.